For the first time ever, the Ontario Junior Lacrosse League Game of the Week comes to one of the most historic barns in the Toronto area. It's Ted Reeve Arena, the home of the Toronto Beaches, who face the first place Orangeville Northmen this evening. I'm Matthew Carrick alongside the JBI Sports Network. And yes, planes are fast. Yes, he does double duty. Jonathan Donville, man of many talents, joins me tonight. I read your column today. This is going to be a good marquee matchup here. Two of the best teams, I would say, in this league.
Yeah, this is one of the most important regular season games I can remember seeing, Matty, throughout my time, both playing and watching this league. Beaches at 7-10. Most fans watching this understand the story of what's happened with their forfeited games. Two of the arguably the two best teams in Canada, two teams that have a legitimate chance to win a Minto Cup, and Beaches is fighting for their playoff lives tonight. They can still get really high in the standings, as high as like 4th or 5th. They can also still miss the playoffs.
Miss the playoffs, yes.
That can win the Minto Cup, that is fighting for their playoff lives tonight.
Crazy.
Matty, even with the stats, how the individual stats have been updated with the forfeits, this game features 7 of the top 12 scorers. Liam Matthews in second, Joyce Spallina third, Will Sheehan 7th, Trey Deer 10th, Bowie Horseman 11th, and Willem Firth, despite missing 8 games of statistics, is already back to 12th place in the standings.
Unreal. No wonder you flew back.
No wonder. Where else would you rather be on a Saturday night?
Orangeville Northmen, their iconic blue and white jerseys. They'll go right to left away from Connor O'Toole, who's won his first 3 starts in a Northman uniform since the trade deadline. Beaches wearing white with blue lettering, going left to right on your screen, working away from Thomas Kizak, who's been their starter most of the way. It is the Beaches captain who pulls it out and gets it all the way up top to Owen Wills for the first possession. Outside shot, that is Firth. And Will Sheehan slotted into this lineup for the Beaches at the trade deadline, one of the first ones to break. And then the Orangeville Norsemen breaking social media just before the deadline, bringing Dante Bowen and Connor O'Toole and this man, Bowie Horseman, into the fold. Here's Trey Deer going down towards the crease. He's got it down low, 10 on the shot clock. As they go from the outside, that's Liam Matthews as Kizak covers up, and already Deer's got a man in his face, trying to deal with Liam Bucknell.
Well, I mentioned, Matty, all the top scorers in this game. Not trying to be controversial here, but I don't think anyone could argue these are also the 2 best goaltenders in the OJLL, 2 of the best, 4 or 5 probably in the country. Kizak's been outstanding all year long. O'Toole, you mentioned the deadline pickup from Brampton. They're probably the 2 best in the league. Both guys been drafted to the NLL. Both names for lacrosse fans to get familiar with.
This is O'Toole's last season of Junior A after playing his entire career in Brampton. His father's still the head coach of the Excelsiors. Has been in attendance the last couple Northman games. Here's Spallina to the outside. No Jake Spallina. His brother has missed the last couple games as Deer takes an outside shot, and that hit off a body and forces it wide, and the Beaches will take over again. Owen Wills across center. One of the benches yelling that there's too many players out there, but it looks like 5-on-5. No 6-on-6 set tonight or indoor sixes, as we're going to coin it here in the OJLL. Firth from the outside. That one hit someone in front. It bounces straight to last year's trade deadline acquisition, Cameron Pack, who finds Aiden Long down floor, who scores. Aiden Long missed a couple games due to injury, but to have him back is huge for Orangeville, and this is right why.
Matty, in addition to my pregame notes, several Cornell Big Red players in this game. Why am I bringing this up? On an Aiden Long goal, headed to play hockey at Cornell University, so I'll add him in to my list of Cornell guys. Gets out on the fast break there. Not a surprise that Orangeville wants to run. They've been doing that for many years, and Long is one of the biggest, best athletes on the back end for the Northmen.
I was going to wait till Beach's number 6, Ryan Cornell, touched the ball before we brought that up, but you beat me to it. Just over 2 minutes into this first period, Aiden Long opens the scoring. Cameron Pack with the assist, and those are 2 transition names. That's the name of the game for the Orangeville Northmen. Beach's shot from the outside bounces wide. Did get a look there at Ryan Gonzalez, who slots back into the Beaches lineup tonight. Here's Matthews. Could be one of the best setup men in the OJLL. Gives it to Spalina. Can see the orange head on his stick. Big fake from Dylan Sanderson cutting through. Kazak lost the stick and footing and everything else, but still manages to keep it out from player that, for my money, is going to be in the Rookie of the Year conversation.
Yeah, pretty slick move there from Sanderson. Just gets a hard plant over top, shreds his guy underneath. If you can beat the low man underneath, there's nobody else to help.
Elijah Edwards, a couple high chops on Matt Collison, as a couple stutter steps before the shot from Peyton Booth. Another outstanding rookie season in a Beaches uniform. Elijah Edwards run over there from Will Sheehan, who dropped the shoulder. One of those Oakville graduates. They started the trade deadline with, I think it was 9 graduates, ended with just 1. Jake Dawick, the only one not traded from that Buzz team prior to the deadline.
Yeah, Sheehan's been good in his start for the Beaches as well, as Sanderson gets a good look. Nice block, good eat, don't rub it by Eric McDonald. Another one of those Oakville trade deadline traded players. Maddie, I was here on Monday for the Mimico game in Beaches. McDonald was fantastic in that game, looking to get up the floor and score. He's clearly got the green light from the Beaches bench.
Firth couldn't tuck it in. Then falling was McDonald. No one really sure where it is. Owen Ron looking for it as it bounced down into Kazak. They reset the shot clock. Apologize, no time on your screen here tonight, so try and keep you updated. 4 minutes gone in the period. Just 1-0 the score as that shot goes off the right leg of O'Toole.
Boy, we got a good angle at that one. That looked pretty good, and Firth has been aggressively looking for his own shot early in this game. He knows that it's an important time of year, looking to score.
Collison to Firth, changed direction, nearly cleanly intercepted, although it bounced off the stick of the high defender Ron, and Beaches still have it. Shot clock reset, and it will do so again. And it's brought up by Cole Teeple. Spalina over the top to Deere. Looking to set the screen, Brian Jackman. Speaking of Oakville evacuees, down to Deere on the crease. That was a great save from Kazak.
Well, that's a sign of Kazak's size and athleticism, very much like a butterfly goalie in hockey, going down to his knees, still has the ability to cover the top corners. 6 save on Trey Deere there.
Here's Hamish McPherson sending it to the outside. Excuse me, Ryan Gonzalez trying to find the far shot. Ball comes over, and they call it on a shot clock violation as opposed to the over and back.
Maddie, one thing we're seeing here, we called the last Orangeville Beaches game at Tony Rose Arena, much more aggressive defensively from Orangeville, not letting guys shop, look through the defense, really trying to limit the time and space for the Beaches offense. It's a little bit more of an aggressive strategy and therefore risky because they're playing closer to the boards. So we'll see if Beaches can exploit some one-on-one matchups, particularly the big fella Collison. Got Spalina stuck here on defense. Beach is going to try to get him involved, ideally on Firth.
Well, he'll match up with Owen Wills, who's up taking an offensive shift. So pretty even from that point as Collison's outside shot handled by O'Toole, who gets up and looks down floor, finding Cole Teeple. Although they're streaming off the Beaches bench to take that transition away. And with a goaltender like O'Toole, I mean, I think that just, as we look at Deere cutting through to the crease, who scores. A little motion to the crowd as well. 2-0 Orangeville.
Talking to Beach's general manager, Reed Acton, before the game. Some injuries on this back end, some new guys in there for Beaches. Just a bit of a busted coverage here. Wojnarowski gets caught looking upfield, gets caught ball watching just a little bit. Deere finds the back pipe. He's had 2 basically wide open looks now on the crease. Got stuffed by Kazak on the first one. Goes to the 5-hole on the second one.
I'm not sure if that's someone he knows or what, but saluting someone in the crowd just in front of the snack bar here in the end zone. 6.5 gone here in the first period. 2-0 for Orangeville. And point I was trying to make before I was rudely interrupted, that Connor O'Toole passes the ball so well as a goaltender that as if the transition game wasn't good enough for this Orangeville Northmen team, he just makes it that much better because he can get it up to the center in a hurry.
And Kazik does too, by the way. These are two of the better passing goalies, you'll see.
Firth to call us in. He's on his wrong side, though. Not going to shoot. He'll circle the crease. Nobody joining him on the left side of the floor. Now it comes, and back down to the crease. Hamish McPherson left all alone. Forces O'Toole to make a spectacular save.
Yeah, that's a big save for O'Toole, just getting lost. McPherson gets himself lost by the defense. Good look from Sheehan, but a nice save.
Bit of a stutter step move to get over center by Donnie Scott. Ball bounces out of his stick, and look out, Kazik. Going to get called for a slash here as Scott came back after the loose ball.
We've seen Kazik be pretty liberal with that stick around the crease throughout the summer. I think this is the first time we've seen it go against him. Looking for the loose ball, but a pretty good chop there. I think I'm okay with that call. That hurts.
Gotta be careful, too. You've seen recent goaltender, his name escapes me at the moment, Ethan Harwood of Whitby, suspended a couple games for a play just like that. So this dangerous power play with Trey Deer up top will go to work for Orangeville, the first one of the game. Deer jumping across that timeline to save the possession, but only 10 seconds left in it. Matthews to Deer. Spallina low shot, and Kazik will make the save. 8 minutes gone here in the period. 24 seconds gone in the power play. As Beaches will work it across center in the stick of Harland.
I think while they're still adjusting, Matty, you mentioned the trades on both sides, both teams here. The power play is one area where the traded guys can really excel. I think having Jackman and Horseman on the creases there really gives this Orangeville power play makes it a lot more dangerous, a lot harder to shade to certain players. And Will Sheehan has done a lot of his damage with the Beaches on the top of the power play.
Here's Greg Palmer, first time, somewhat surprisingly, a minute and a half away from the halfway mark of the period that we call the name of Greg Palmer. Speaking of assist machines here in the OJLL.
Yeah, Palmer and Collison are going to be the guys to watch tonight. Firth is going to get his. Sheehan's still finding his way with the new team. Beaches had 2 losses this week, their first 2 of the season. They need Palmer and Collison to be as good as they were throughout the first half.
Kazik good right there on the cross crease play. Beaches trying to look backdoor. 30 seconds remaining here in the power play. Shot clock down to 18, so Beaches can't take the whole thing. Gonna try and run it as far as they can, though. Here's Collison. Dante Bowen spying him. New kicks for Bowen, we notice. Gone away from the red and green, and they're just... Are we gonna call that orange as the shot clock expires?
Yeah, 2 matching shoes, too, changing it up.
Yeah.
Surprise.
Up top, here's Bowie. Horseman from outside scores. What a rip from the former Brampton captain, who makes it 3-0.
The former Brampton captain, and Matty, sorry to repeat myself, but a current player for the Cornell Big Red here, getting on the board, and he can rip it, right? We called Brampton games together, Matty, this year. A lot of Bowie's goals come off great shots from the outside. That's something. That's one of the things that these traded guys can do. They give you easy goals as Orangeville gets another good look. It's so hard to score, Matty, as you get deeper into the summer. That's what a guy like Horseman can do. He can just step into one and give you an easy one. Takes the burden off the rest of your offense.
Midway mark of the first period, 3-0 in favor of the Northmen. And it's been struggle bus the last week here for the Beaches. Outside shot from their captain, Firth. O'Toole will hang on, coming in, losing their last 2 games Man, Deere was all alone off the bench. Caught it, thought about going over the shoulder, but now he'll wait for help.
Yeah, they lost 2 in a row there to Mimico and then Six Nations. The Six Nations game was a heartbreaker. They were up by 5 going into the third period. End up losing that game in overtime. That was the second loss, but then they came back and pumped Peterborough, I think 11-2. So a good bounce back from them to get some good vibes going into this game.
And then Peterborough wins the next night 16-4.
Sure.
So if you ever thought you had this league figured out, guess again, as we get back-to-back moving screens on the Orangeville possessions. 9 minutes and 20 to go here in the first. Firth walking in.
Stick.
Tried to find Gonzalez. Outside shot. Palmer down low, and O'Toole will make the save. Gets up and immediately looking down floor. Heads up Chiapara. Jaden Chiapara back in the lineup after an extended absence. Notable absences on the side of Beaches. Matt Firth, Ewan McKay, David Peterkin here tonight. A couple of those guys, actually all 3 of them, part of the downright nasty defense that plays for this Beaches squad. Meanwhile, the other way, Garen Jennings, Jake Spallina, already mentioned, as I think that's 3 possessions in a row with a moving screen, taking the ball away from Orangeville and resulting in transition and a goal. Back the other way, Eric McDonald.
Matty, how can you tell that McDonald has the green light? Because he picks this thing up and he never thinks twice about going. He's going hard to score the whole way. That's a 5th year on a rookie. McDonald on Sanderson, he said, I know I can push you a little bit. I know I can go to the goal. Beaches needed a play. They get it from McDonald. That's his, I believe, his 3rd goal in just his 6th game for the Beaches. They want him to get up and score.
Ryan Broughton. Sheldon Broughton down to the face-off dot. There against Ron. It ends up in an Orangeville possession. Aiden Long is going to stay out here waiting for Deere and Spallina to join him.
Matty, another thing I forgot to mention there as Orangeville gets a good look. I love the Beaches goal song. Freed from Desire.
Yeah.
It's tied for first with Oakville.
I saw the tweet.
I love it.
Wojnarski back to Firth.
Spallina caught again here. Beaches got to make him work. Got the late sub. They got numbers.
Yep, trying to get off is Spallina, which opens room to cut through the middle and take the shot from Will Sheehan. But Orangeville, I mean, they are just relentless as they push. They've done it the entire period. 7.5 left to play here. And it really forces teams to communicate there on defense. This one bouncing back into Northmen territory. Owen Vivian couldn't catch up.
Matty, the other important thing about that pace that Orangeville's playing with from the back end is how many times have we seen Beaches cause those turnovers on defenders. Orangeville's just eliminating that possibility by just flying up the floor, not letting any of these forecheckers really get a good piece, and they're punishing it on the other end. And here they go again. Bones off to the races.
And he is one of the most dangerous players in the league when you give him a head of steam. Bowen, initial shot went wide. Second, the Deere went falling through the crease.
It's actually like the opposite of Orangeville here, Matty, where the benches are really short, right, so you lose a lot of space. Yeah. You know, Orangeville, you can kind of get back to the benches. I think here you got to lean a little more heavily towards, you know, getting back and playing defense.
Under 7 minutes to go in the first period. Mike Melvin, Brendan Hessen, Brad Giroux, your 3 officials, by the way.
Spallina stuck on defense again here.
I just don't think he leaves the floor. Here's McPherson.
Beach has got to make him work a little bit more. He's stuck back there. Even if you're not going to score, you got to try to tire him out. Kind of letting him off the hook just a little bit here, I think.
Going to stay on offense again after taking the flip pass. There's Owen Ron again. Cam Sanderson pops out of the pile. Wanted the pass, not going to get it from Matthews. Spallina does. 10 on the shot clock. Spallina over the top. He'll play it over into the corner. On the run, a sidearm shot. There from Brian Jackman. And the rebound in the stick of Winarski, and down in Orangeville territory, he finds Sheehan off the bench. And that's another good save from O'Toole, who's been sharp in this first period.
I was curious, by the way, I don't know if he already had it, Maddie, or if he got one made pretty quickly, but I was wondering if we're going to see that beautiful Brampton Excelsior's bucket on O'Toole has been gotten into the black and gray right away.
I looked at it. It looked, in the first game that we did at Tony Rose, it looked like there were stickers.
Okay.
Like just Northmen stickers, but I assure you, something cool is coming for the playoffs.
Yeah.
If I know Connor O'Toole. Closing in on 5 minutes left here in the period. 2-goal lead for him and the Northmen. From the outside, here's Firth. I don't have any information on that, by the way. I've just seen his buckets over the years. Collison's shot bounces out wide. He was arguing that it tipped somebody in a black jersey.
Good play there on the breakout from Cole Teeple. Just doesn't let Firth get his hands on him, runs right by him. We've seen that go the other way many times.
Firth out on defense now as there's a crash in the crease. Coming in late, Joey Spallina. Didn't like that his man was being roughed up a little bit, and we're going to get offsetting penalties for the first time tonight.
Got Firth and Spallina going off for mixing it up.
I did not have that on the bingo card.
With each other. Must be getting closer to playoff time here.
I mean, I had tight penalties, but those two guys being one of them, I didn't have. Here's a look at the end of the play. Spallina comes in a little late. And offsetting penalties is the result.
Getting some text messages from some fans here. Apparently it's the Vancouver Warriors helmet for O'Toole. Makes sense. I'm right there with you, Matty. I would not be surprised to see a Northman bucket coming.
Big hit far side, arm the official high. By the way, when we're offsetting penalties, we remain 5-on-5, but that's only going to be momentarily.
6-on-5 now.
Outside shot is where it starts. Bouncer back to Gonzalez. He couldn't pick up, and it'll be a tripping call here against the Northmen.
So interesting scenario here now for Beaches. They have a power play. They're obviously best player, and the guy who runs their power plays in the penalty box. This is a scenario where having Sheehan really helps. Sheehan is going to run the top. You still have Palmer and Collison at the shooter spots, guys you obviously feel really good about. You know, this is why you trade for those extra guys for scenarios you can't always see coming. The problem is you don't really have that many plays in the bag that don't involve Firth, so you got to figure that part out.
It'll be Sheehan taking top spot. I don't see Firth. Oh, yeah, he's in the penalty box. Excuse me. 4 minutes and 10 seconds left here in the period. Collison up top, sidearm shot. I think that was the point you were making anyways. Here's Teeple. Him and Long come across center. They'll slow things up with a wall of Beaches players. Long getting close to that over and back red line here.
Good play.
At Ted Reeve, and that's Bowie Horseman coming in to save Long. He was stuck with no options. Horseman over the top, down to the crease. Deer on his wrong side. They tried to go quick stick, and it just bounced away.
Man, pretty good look there by Jackman. Just couldn't connect the dots on the feed, but probably a better look than Beaches was looking to give up a guy.
3.5 minutes to go here in the first period. Still a 2-goal lead for the Northmen. Beaches trying to change that on their first power play of the game. It's got 1 minute left.
Look for an underhand shot at some point from Sheehan. He scored a couple of them on Mimico.
Oh.
Favorable call here for Beaches.
Yeah.
I say it went off the Orangeville player.
That looked like it missed everything. Shot clock counting down on the floor. Cole Teeple's going to run into the errant pass, and in one-on-one with Kazik, who's had to make one too many of those types of saves here in the first.
Yeah, but you need him to make them if you're Beaches. You don't have to apologize for your goalie making saves. He's one of the best for a reason. Pretty nice little floater there by Teeple. I would definitely look for Sheehan to be a shooter here. He's the one guy who kind of hasn't gotten a good look yet.
He'll take top spot, now wheel off. Ball down in the corner. Palmer trying to make space for him. He likes to shoot anyways off the cage. And this one's going to bounce down the length of the floor. Not only two of the best goaltenders in the league, both of these teams routinely put up 50 to 60 shots a night.
Yep, no doubt. You got two teams that really want to get up and play fast. We've already seen that. We've been talking about it throughout the first period here.
Here's Collison. His shot hits O'Toole, and Long is out again. Him and Donnie Scott in all alone. The shot there, and Kazik got a piece of Scott and the ball before it went up out of play. So this will be Orangeville possession as Long took a shove, and we're going to get offsetting penalties one more time. That releases Spalina and Firth.
Clear message, obviously, coming from the officials here. Going to try to nip this stuff in the bud as quickly as they can. I don't have a huge issue with it as long as it's offsetting. We might have a little bit more action here before the whistle.
Trey Deer taking a couple shoves in tight on the crease, and
these two are going to go.
Yeah. So Trey Deer and Aiden Long are going to be in the box for Orangeville. Jacob Kazik. And trying to get a number here for the Beaches.
Hewitt.
Kidding Hewitt.
But to your point, Maddie, a great point by you. The rules have changed, so now these offsetting penalties, it stays on 5-on-5. So as long as they're offsetting, there could be 6 more guys in the box, and we're still playing even strength. That was...
That's one way to stop it.
I always put my hand there.
Yeah. Guys that came to step up on Liam Matthews is going to try again.
He just ran into my outstretched hand.
Yeah. A little give and go to get it down on the crease. And Kazik with a nice save for Brian Jackman. Those penalties, by the way, coming right at the 2-minute mark.
Yep.
So they'll get their players back for the second period. I was wondering if that was 1:59-8, something like that, and then got to sit for 3 minutes of the first period.
We've got another penalty coming up here, so 6-on-5 upcoming.
Hunter Lubinecki will put it through to Firth. Big outside shot, room to shoot. That was Peyton Booth, and we do get the call here against Elijah Edwards with 1:06 to go, and a good opportunity now for the Beaches here in the dying minutes of this first period.
Yeah, Rusty Kruger not happy with the call. A little bit hard to see on the replay. Now we're going to see this first full power play from Beaches. So Firth will be at the top, Sheehan and Collison on the shooters, it looks like. You got to find a way to get inside. We've seen a lot of outside shots here throughout the first period. They're just not going on O'Toole. How can you get inside? How can you kind of dial up some better looks here? But, 4 really good penalty killers out there for Orangeville. They're stout for a reason.
Collison, Sheehan, and Firth all had a conversation just before. Aaron's shot bounces right back to Dante Bowen. And Collison reaches over the top to knock it free. Those are 2 big boys as Bowen's still trying to recover it. Bounces back into the stick of Will Sheehan, and they'll set up one more time with 40 seconds to go in the period.
That's Beach's game. Those caused turnovers, a big part of their success.
Here's Willem Firth up top. Collison sets the screen. Sheehan the shot. Bounces right back to number 44. Now there's 30 to go in the period. Firth and Sheehan playing catch right now. Firth down to the crease. Quick stick Palmer. Bounces to Hamish McPherson, who scores.
This goal starts, Maddie, because of the respect that Orangeville has for Sheehan. So they jump Sheehan right there. Firth skips it through to Palmer. Hamish McPherson picks up the garbage as the Tide for best goal song in the OJLL plays again. McPherson plays his college ball for Coach Tells at the University of Maryland. He's been an important player for the Beaches. But just again, the gravity of Sheehan to draw up that defender and the skill to give it right back to Firth. Firth to Palmer, a good look. And now 6-on-5 opportunity for Beaches. They can tie this thing up in a period that feels like Orangeville has really had the edge. Beaches can get out of this thing, even up.
17 seconds left to go here in the period. Try and update you on the other game going on tonight. Brampton Excelsior's in Mimico, and it's the Mountaineers leading 4-0 It was upset night the other day when the Beaches lost to the Arrows. KW taking care of Brampton on back-to-back nights as well.
So that's another kind of crazy scenario that still has to play out here. Brampton is currently in second.
Yes.
With games remaining, 2 against Mimico, 1 against Orangeville, 1 against Peterborough, who's playing pretty well, and then 1 against Six Nations, who's still in the hunt. And Brampton's 3 best players are playing for Orangeville tonight, right? Like, there's so much that has to come out of this. Is yet to be determined. No disrespect, by the way, to Nolan Byrne on Brampton. I think he's up to second in the OJ right now in scoring, or top 5. So, no dig there. He's been one of the best players in the entire OJLL. But just saying, they made those big deadline trades, and they have a heck of a schedule left to play. It's like
under 10 on the clock.
Yeah, Firth shut off here.
Well, Lubinecki comes to throw a big screen on Teeple, who is taking care of him. And then Firth did get the shot away, but O'Toole makes the stop and hangs on to the rebound to end the first period 3-2 in favor of Orangeville.
Yeah, good play design there from Coach O'Connor. You say, you're going to shut our guy off? Well, we're going to try to pick you off and get him a shot anyways. That's a pretty good look for Firth, and he's had a couple good ones here. We've seen him be around the goal in games throughout the season, and then all of a sudden they really start to fall. Obviously, Beaches hopes that happens again here.
You're watching the Ontario Junior Lacrosse League Game of the Week, the first ever game from Ted Reeve Arena here in the Beaches. We'll take a timeout and be back with second period action in about 10 minutes time. This Game of the Week is fueled by Gatorade.
Gatorade. With electrolytes to help replenish what's lost in sweat, carbs to help fuel your working muscles, and fluids to help you hydrate. Scientifically formulated so you never stop competing.
Let's go, raise up one time, go get it, it's yours, let's shine, come on.
Rehydrate, replenish, refuel. Gatorade. 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 With electrolytes to help replenish what's lost in sweat, carbs to help fuel your working muscles, and fluids to help you hydrate. Scientifically formulated so you never stop competing.
Let's go, raise up one time, go get it, it's yours, let's shine, come on.
Rehydrate, replenish, refuel. Gatorade.
You can catch the fun with lacrosse, Canada's national summer sport. Everyone can experience the excitement of lacrosse, where fun meets fitness and friends are made. Lacrosse is one of the youngest organized sports children can play. And with 66 clubs throughout Ontario, everyone can get in on the fun. Visit playlacrosse.com. Our interactive map will help you find a lacrosse club in your area. Join the Ontario lacrosse community today. Ask a parent before going online.
Back live inside Ted Reeve Arena. Toronto Beach is trailing the Orangeville Northmen 3-2 after that first period. And if you're the Beaches here, you really got to look out because the Northmen were running transition in that first. And this is where it really comes into play with the short change.
It does, but Beaches also has thrived on getting up and down. I think if you're Beaches, it's how can we find a way to create some turnovers in the clear game. That's really been a key to their success all year. How can we get some better looks? The name of the game for Beaches is how do we get more looks inside the dots on top of the goalie, because O'Toole's going to swallow most of the outside ones.
As he did in that first period, as he has basically since he's come over in that trade with Brampton. Team switch sides, so it will be O'Toole off to our left, and it'll be Kazik off to our right, and it'll be Owen Wills controlling the opening faceoff.
Yep, and to your point, everyone's out of the box, so even up here, nobody in the box, playing even strength.
For now. I would bet most of your imaginary house that that's not going to be for very long.
Bet your own imaginary house.
Here's Firth. Firth will come back up top to Booth as they cycle through Sheehan. Now Collison's shot didn't get through, and it'll go for a shot clock violation. Other interesting thing here, you thought Brampton had troubles going down the tunnel. These two benches are right on top of each other and go through the same door to get to the locker rooms, which are pretty close once you get down under the stands. Hope we don't have to worry about that here tonight, but Matthews rolls over the top. His shot, save made, but it's Trey Deer that picks up the rebound. And we talked about this last time we were in Orangeville. Jonathan, the offensive rebounds of the Northmen wearing down on the defense. Outside shot from Dylan Sanderson. Kazik had a bit of trouble with it as it rolls out the back.
Yeah, and those are like body blows. Those extra possessions are like body blows in boxing. You might not see them now. You might not score on that possession, but it's little plays that add up and wearing down the defense. And now another quick extra possession for Orangeville. They kind of wasted a little bit here. Kazik letting that stick swing again. He's taking no prisoners around the cage. There's no question about Kazik being dialed and being emotionally invested in this game.
That is his turf, and you're not allowed near it. Here's Dylan Sanderson trying to take care of Hewitt and then jumping the route to intercept the pass. Nearly too many men as Scott faked to the bench and came back. Dante Bowen shot trailing the play, save made. Aiden Long will hold on to the rebound again, but with 2 minutes gone here in the second, Northman offense will come out.
A couple of these guys have been out there for a while. Wills has been on the floor for a while. Basically the third possession in a row for the Northmen.
Here's Horseman to Cam Sanderson. His shot finds Kazik. He'll drag the rebound back into his crease. And now, as you said, Beaches are going to need to take care of this possession here with Jack Wojnarski. Firth. Out to the outside, Collison. And as gross as Firth has been, Collison shoots and scores. Gonna say he's got one more year, but let's admire this first.
I was just about to say, the Collison's got to drive these to the next. He's so unstoppable getting to the goal, but he ends up just pulling up and shooting it. You can see, just a little bit too much time. That's pretty good defense. He's just an incredible shooter. And this Beaches team can score from distance. Sheehan can score from out there. Firth can score from out there. And obviously Collison, one of the best and heaviest shots in the OJLL. Not a whole lot to analyze on that one. Just yanks it back, and all of a sudden we got a tie game here.
We do, with 3 minutes gone in the second period. Not what it looked like when the Northmen were going on their run in that first period. Back across from the outside, Brian Jackman sends that one wide. Again, Kazik will pull it back. Using the stick for good to get it back in the crease.
McDonald broke for a breakaway there, didn't get it, but now Brian Jackman's going to get stuck. 26 in black. Oh, guys, stuck back there for Beaches, or for Orangeville.
Outside, Collison feeling it as he takes the shot. O'Toole with the save, and it'll be brought back up the near side.
Yeah, you get no guy stuck back there. A little bit of a communication lapse. Collison gets a wide open look. There's a little hidden play hustle by McDonald. Leads to the good look for the Beaches.
Here's Spallina circling the net. His shot bounced, looked like wide, ended up in the back of the net. They reset the shot clock as Deere will give to Spallina. Trey Deere tripped up as he ran through the crease. Comes back to Spallina, off center. He got filled in. This is a rough offensive shift. You can't see who it is defending right on top, but they lose Deere, who walks in and shoots. Dylan Sanderson corrals the rebound.
Orangeville playing a lot of offense right now.
That's Hamish McPherson, by the way, who's been stuck out there this whole time. Up top, Spallina. Sanderson shot. Save made by Kazik, and will Sanderson get it again? Yes, he will.
It's a tired defense. Look out. You got to buckle down, get a stop.
With only 4.5 minutes gone in the period. Matthews tries to back away from the screen, goes up, wheels over the top, shoots sidearm. And let's credit Hamish McPherson there, who got stuck out on defense as well. Ryan Cornell.
Yep, good call by you. As Kazik bailed him out there. A bunch of good looks for Orangeville. They needed him to step up, and he did.
Palmer to Collison to Firth. Going to be Collison setting the screen. Willem Firth off the top spot was looking for that little gap that was there only momentarily over the right knee of O'Toole.
Yeah, not to keep bringing it up, but now Will Sheehan, 11 for Beaches, stuck on defense. Aiden Long trying to pin him deep in the zone. Little mismatches here.
Jackman to Long to the crease, bowled over. And
pretty good defense actually by Sheehan there. Just buckling down, you're 21 years old, you're strong. And they're going to get bailed out by the floor wipe here.
Johnny Zamboni coming out for the wipe down. 14:32 to go here in a 3-3 tie. By the way, we will have game 2 of that Crombie Cup when the Beaches face Mimico. That's on Friday night. 8 o'clock start, Gary? Okay. You know what? Download the OJLL app and we'll find out together from your favorite app store the entire standings, stats, and schedules and scores. That app will tell you that Mimico is up 4-1 on Brampton in the first intermission at the Drummond Bowl tonight. Horseman from the outside looked like he slipped just as he was about to shoot.
Look out for numbers here. Got Firth coming hard off the bench.
Warnarski can't find him.
Yeah, you can hear slow coming from the Beaches side. Not a terrible idea whatsoever given the amount of defense they played here early through the second period.
Just about 6 minutes gone. Although the Beaches have already tied it up, looking to take their first lead of the game. Here's Firth. Cuts back on Teeple, dives, and was in the crease. Prior to that, getting the shot on O'Toole.
That was a set piece for Beaches. Run really well. They had Collison and Firth. I actually think they threw it to the wrong guy. I think Collison might have been more open, but still a sick move by Willem to get across the crease. A nice save by O'Toole as we go back and forth here.
Spallina to Matthews on the run, sidearm. Kazik the save. This one will bounce back towards the over and back line and into the penalty box for a Northman possession off the shot. Matthews wanted the quick restart. They'll give it to Horseman, who then goes to Spallina. Low take on Kazik, who's down to block the 5-hole. Owen Wills cross to Owen Vivian. And now Will Sheehan with room. On the run, took the shot, and that one was wide before it went up into the rafters.
That's a good look for Beaches, though. They've had a couple good ones here after, it was pretty tough sledding throughout the first period.
Elijah Edwards, ball bounces away from the man on the far side, and then Cam Sanderson couldn't get a full shot away. Penalty coming up here to the Northmen. Kazik actually beats one of the defense guys into the box as Firth will now set up on the 6-on-5. Waiting for the last player. So it's going to be Gonzalez as Collison looks it into the middle for Palmer. Out of nowhere.
It's a game of runs, Matty. We've been talking about it all summer. You know, by my count, this game was 3-0, and then all the way back to 4-3 now. As Beaches makes their run, just a very nice no-look pass here and just quick hands from Palmer. Palmer, not one of the biggest players on the floor, but has been one of the most productive players throughout the season here in the OJLL. Coach Riley O'Connor was calling out a play call there. I don't think that was it. I don't think they got to it. Just a good heads-up play by Palmer to kind of fill into that gap, and a nice play by Collison. And again, that's what having Collison, Firth, and Sheehan on the outside do. You have to press out to those guys, creates gaps for others like Palmer to step in.
Ball down, Warnarski will control the face-off. Still 5-on-5 as that goal wipes out the penalty. It was coming to Orangeville with 12.5 to play here in the second period.
But by the way, isn't it funny how you score the goal to take the lead and then you win the face-off? Like, it seems like those bounces just kind of follow each other.
Yes. But they don't mean anything. Here's Collison on the run. The bouncer just wide.
I love that look there, just trying to clear out space for Collison. He didn't realize how open he was.
Collison has it back. He'll one-hand flip it to Sheehan. Sheehan now one-on-one with Teeple. Flips it to Collison. Over top of Sheehan. To Lubinecki, the shot from the outside. O'Toole not sure where it was as it was caught up on the right pad.
So I'll try to highlight it, Matty, next time they play that two-man with Firth and Collison. But Orangeville is trying to very aggressively take away top side. They're trying to push the ball down the alley and throw to those flip passes. One thing you can do on that, which Beaches just did, is just clear out the guy so that it's a one-on-one instead of a two-on-two. And then when you get forced underneath, you know, you sometimes will just have a free lane to the goal. I suspect they'll go back to that look soon.
Spalina just took a massive chop right up top, and we're going to get a penalty coming here.
Don't rub it.
Not at all. Jackman to Spalina. He'll retreat to the blue line. Matthews with it, 5 on the shot clock. Gets the reset, and another possession. Matthews to Spalina. Took the shot. He's just so smooth as he comes over the top. Doesn't have to set his feet or anything to get a good clean shot away. Here's Matthews now. Back up top, Jackman looking for Deere on the crease.
Deere's open.
It'll bounce off the glass and go to Matthews. Jackman again. It'll roll to Matthews. Again, it looked like Deere might have had a chance. And this one bounces wide. Dylan Sanderson will bring it down. 5 to shoot. Hard one comes and a rebound out. And finally, it's touched here by the Beaches. You can see how tired some of the offensive guys for Orangeville are getting with all these resets.
Isaac's dialed in right now. You can see he's seeing the ball cleanly out of these sticks. He's so big in there, you know, just eating a lot of these shots.
Watch this
not
up
a whole
top.
lot of net to look at.
Stick kind of runs up under the...
Yeah, I don't think that was malicious, but it doesn't mean it doesn't hurt. Watch Matthews in the corner. Watch him to get involved in this play in some way, shape, or form.
It'll be Deere off center. Here it comes now. Jackman through. Deere from the outside scores. 14 seconds of power play time gets us back to a tie game.
I'll take the broadcaster jinx here, talking about how dialed in Isaac is. The goal happens on the next play. They run a little seal down for Matthews. McDonald has to help back in on Matthews, and Deere just shoots through the screen. Good play design there. Good patience from Spalina to not jam it into Matthews. Really, really kind of clean read there. Looks inside, not there. Sends it back to Deere, who shoots it right away.
Early movement from Owen Ron. We'll give the ball here to Beaches. In a 4-4 tie as we pass the halfway mark of regulation. Palmer up top, Firth. Collison cutting through, wanted the shot. Elijah Edwards was there. Ball will be to the outside. Now Sheehan to Collison. Firth coming over to set the screen. Collison senses he's got room, twist shot one-handed. O'Toole makes the save.
That's what you want if you're a Beaches fan. When he puts his head down, you can't stop him, or at least not very many guys can stop him. That was 20 seconds of really good defense by Edwards, and Collison just says, I'm going to the net now, thank you. And there's not a whole lot you can do about it.
Speaking of going to the net, Orangeville nearly got there, if not for the toe in the crease from Cohen Jennings. Already talked about no Jake Spallina tonight, no Garen Jennings either. The rookie who's had a fairly decent offensive performance. He's going to be a stud on the offense for the Northmen for a couple years yet. Firth from the outside, that caught the foot of Chiapara. Again, just back into the lineup in the last couple games. Outside shot, another one from Firth. That one caught Chiapara, who's on his horse to get back, even though he's got to be hurting. Out the door, Dylan Sanderson splits and save made Isaac.
Yeah, Firth and Chaparra, part of the same freshman class this year at Cornell.
That's dumb.
Watch it.
Just the fact that those two are coming in. God bless the defenses that have to play against that. Goodness.
No doubt.
Ball bouncing to the outside. Firth and Palmer go after it, as do Nate Ruff and another member of the Northmen. Sanderson coming in to help out. And that will expire the shot clock with 8:23 to go here in the second. All knotted at fours. This game could have gone a ton of different ways, I think. Tied at 4. Halfway through. Call also been 10-10 because both teams can do stuff like this. Spallina from the outside.
Spallina's had a couple good looks. This is going to be his first goal. The plays made by Bowie Horseman. As a picker, you want to get two people to play you. That's exactly what Horseman does. He gets his own guy at the first, and then at the last second, sticks his butt out. Sometimes call that a bee sting pick when you're setting it kind of with your backside. Gets a piece of Spallina's guy. Looks like he went short side low. And again, game of runs, Matty. It's 3-0 Orangeville. Beaches comes all the way back, 4-3. Looks like they're really going to take over this game. Orangeville gets the power play goal. Spallina scores, now back in the lead here as we go back and forth.
8:10 to go here in the second period. Still showing 4-1 in Mimico as they're on top of the Brampton Excelsiors.
By the way, Denver Outlaws up 11-8 right now in the PLL. 3 minutes, 50 seconds left in that game as we track the out-of-town scoreboard all over the lacrosse world.
Whoever it was that was crediting Donville for coming back after playing last night with the Boston Cannons, Chris Kluche once did that. Played in Denver, caught the red eye, scored 6 goals in field, landed at Pearson, drove to Coburg, and scored 5 in the afternoon. The ball movement here ends up in a good save made from O'Toole.
Yeah, I'm just a humble broadcaster, but that's pretty impressive. The new PLL rules regarding summer lacrosse don't allow, obviously, players to play in both leagues, but there's some great stories about that. I've also heard stories about guys playing very intense summer playoff series, for example, Brampton versus Peterborough, and then be teammates the next night for the Rochester Rattlers, and then go back to rivals to teammates like 3 or 4 times in the same week.
Shot on the run, Gonzalez. They're going to call him through the crease. You get a front row seat to a lot of those stories on Back of the Bird.
No doubt. It's been really cool to hear them. I heard that one actually from Brody Merrill in his Rattlers days. Just some pretty vicious series, and then a bunch of them are driving together down to Rochester.
On the crease, Trey Deere. What a cutback move there. Although Kazik went with all of it. Ball down, as is Matthews, picked up.
Collison's the trailer here.
And out Owen Vivian. We'll trail it back to Firth, though, and his shot through a screen. I don't think he saw Collison.
No. Still a good look. Yeah, I mean, you're not going to tell him to pass up those very often. Good loose ball play by Beaches, set that up.
Closing in on 6 minutes to go here in the second.
McPherson caught on defense again, covering Horseman now.
Deer works back to his normal side before bouncing it in front of Kazik. It goes up over his head and into the screen. Decent crowd, I would say. There are seats available, but being a long weekend here north of the border, pretty decent showing. Let me tell you, I drove through the beaches down by Lake Ontario. This place is hopping this weekend.
Yeah.
Nate Ruff, him and Aiden Long come breaking out. Nate Ruff, runner-up for Transition Player of the Year last year. Former Mississauga Charger will now head off. Trey Deer, Aiden Long, Spalina. Matthews, the last one off the bench. He'll flip it over to Deer. Then Matthews sets the screen back across to Spalina. Sanderson trying to make space. Deer goes all the way across. Here comes a shot from Matthews. It's in! Meanwhile, over the top, Aiden Long got a huge piece of his defender, who's not happy that there was no call.
Yeah, obviously one that Kazak's going to want back. Long sets a hard pick here. You know, it doesn't really have much impact on the goal. The ball's already out by Matthews. Matthews had a couple of good looks. Looked a little bit frustrated at times, and you know, sometimes you get those lucky ones right at the time when you think you can't score.
So after the Beaches, it was 3-0, stormed all the way back to take the lead. Now 3 straight on the side of the Northmen, and Winarski wants more.
What a play by Winarski there.
Chiapara down floor. There's only one Beaches player back. He was coming in with Bowen, but the combination of Broughton and can't see who it was, but 2 Toronto players came back to take Dante Bowen's transition chances away. Jackman to the corner. It's Matthews again to Spalina outside, same result.
Big moment now for Beaches. Game starting to go, obviously, in the way of the Northmen. Spalina actually had a good off-ball play before that to try to play with Horseman, sets the up pick, pops to space, and the key there is the release. It's in and out. Hard to tell from this angle exactly where he put it on Kazik, but the advantage of the quick release is it gives you a lot greater margin of error. It doesn't have to be a perfect shot. Just get it out of your stick, get the pucks on net. Sometimes they'll go in. Again, to the point about body blows, Maddie, those are 2 ways that you can kind of see them. 2 shots maybe from the outside. You know, Kazak's made a lot of unbelievable saves, but it's just taxing. It's hard to play defense, hard to play in the net for that long. That, you know, just some things to watch throughout the game.
Well, they've also been going punch, counter punch, and you call them body shots. There's been some big blows thrown in this game. Sheehan beat his man, dropped him.
Save.
Cameron Pack slow to get up. Down on all 4s now and hobbling off in behind the play. Rusty Kruger is going to go back to work on the officiating crew. His Pack still just now making his way to the bench.
Well, they did. Long just got away with a good pick, obviously, on the Matthews goal, so they're letting the picks go a little bit.
Here's Matthews over the top. The ball hits right off the top of the glass and then bounces over and back.
Saw, by the way, Spalina getting shoved into the boards there in that last possession. That's about the oldest trick in the OJLL book is you score a couple. Well, hard to score when your back is on the boards and my stick's in your chest.
Couple more, and that progresses to the 2-hander into the base of the kidney pads. Palmer from the outside. O'Toole will pick up, and he wants the outlet pass to Cole Teeple.
And by the way, Willem Firth has been seeing that all year. Saw a lot of it against Mimico on Monday. So it's a sign of respect to the best players, but hard to always remember that because it hurts.
Here's Spalina. Horseman doing his best to make him space. Couldn't budge anyone over on that far side. Now they work the give and go. Do Jennings and Deer. Excuse me, Jennings that picks up to Trey Deer. Big high step. Picks the corner from way out at the tail end of the shot clock.
I didn't see the shot clock here. The shot clock seemed like it was, seemed like they were pretty deep in the shot clock. Another one from outside. Kazik didn't seem like he saw it. Beaches is going to argue about a player going through the crease. Hard to tell on our replay how much of an argument they have, but Beaches needs a goal here. Not saying anything crazy. Down 4 against a pretty stout defense and a great goaltender. They need to find the score sheet again soon and get this thing back a little bit more manageable before the end of the period.
Here's Pack, who's back out there after seeing a little attention from the trainer. Aiden Long. 2.5 to go. Beaches either need a stop, but this Isaac steps out again and took him off the line. That ball was bouncing through the crease, but Aiden Long has got a lot of attention from the Beaches netminder here tonight since that crash into the cage earlier on.
Yeah, Isaac was halfway, decided between making the save and punching Long in the face.
Spallina and Palmer collide here on the near side, and Spallina goes right back after Palmer and knocks him down, and he's going to, nope, they're just going to take the ball away. Spallina's coming over. Yeah, there's tons of black jerseys. Palmer doesn't care, dives across, and
then the whole bench is going to go celebrate. I mean, there's a lot of bodies on the floor, I think, for both teams there on the quick turnaround. Spallina gets his pound of flesh on Palmer after a big pick, ends up going right back to the net. Beaches wins the whistle.
1, 2, 3,
Palmer gets
4,
the breakaway
5,
and scores, and he's got the last
6,
2 now.
7, 8 coming into the huddle.
Oh, I love it. Send the farm. I mean, you need some juice on that Beaches bench, right? A bunch of goals in a row for the Northmen. They get a juice play from Palmer. Send the boys to go celebrate. I'm all good with that.
Both benches thought there were too many men. Palmer didn't care.
There were a lot of people on the floor when that moving pick got called back here. But it was a dead ball for a second there. So.
Well, you said Beaches needed something. How about that? We'll see if that changes momentum as Long steps up right off the face-off and goes upstairs on Eric McDonald.
This is a huge moment in this game.
Now they're 6 on 5.
Watch Palmer again.
Collison tries the same shot. Palmer did get it on the no-look pass. Long trying to jump, so he touches that, and he does. And it'll be him going for a high stick.
So 1:40 left in the period here. As Long, I believe, is going to get the penalty for the high stick off the face-off.
Right on the side of the screen there.
Yep. So Beach is going back to the power play. Orangeville bench not happy about it. We'll see what they draw up here.
Well, because they recognized how big that goal was, too. They had all the energy on their side as now the outside shot from Palmer gets stuffed. Donnie Scott.
What a play by Donnie Scott, by the way.
Sheehan, though, got past him and scores. That's why that goal was a big one, as Beach has now gone back-to-back.
So good loose ball play. Donnie Scott makes a bit of a gamble here. Sheehan picks up the loose ball, and then Cameron Pack is going to try to bait Sheehan into throwing it to the back pipe and pick it off. Sheehan reads it well, just keeps it, finds himself right on top of the goal. Again, he's doing a lot of his damage on the power play. A high-level stick in there for Beaches. It's 8-6. The goal song's playing. We got a game here.
Minute 23 left to go here in the second period. When it looked like Beaches were just trying to escape the period and run out the last 2.5 to get to the room. Come back and have it within 2.
If you're Beaches, you got to buckle down here. The last thing you want to do is get those 2 goals, get all this momentum, and then give one back before the period here. Buckle down, maybe even try to get another one. But you can't give up one here.
Spallina from the outside shot it right down Main Street. Isaac there to see it. Then he's going to try and push transition the other way. Cameron Pack nearly brought it down, but it is Firth now facing a double team, and Pack and Teeple turns and fires in the corner. First one there was Liam Matthews, who sends it away for the double team. Teeple across center into the final minute. Someone's trying to call timeout. It's Orangeville. Just about to say both teams had both of theirs remaining. So use it or lose it timeout for Rusty Kruger. He's going to do the former here with 46 seconds to go.
The shade of red on Coach Phil Sanderson's head is an indicator of how upset he is, and he's very upset right now with the officials.
Almost disappearing over there with the color over on the walls. In a renovated Ted Reeve, it was cooler when I walked in. Not so much right now when we've got high, but a high here in the press box, that is. But new video screen here, some updated walkways. Looks like the floor has had a little bit of a redo.
Yeah, like many OJLL venues around the circuit too, selling beers and other drinks here as well. So it's been a welcome change here, just increasing the fan experience. Also selling some merchandise, some Beaches t-shirts. Credit to all the organization members here getting that kind of stuff into the building. It's important. It benefits the fan experience, and the t-shirts are pretty cool too. If you're a Beaches fan, make sure to check those out.
And even if you're not, you should be still grabbing your merch anyways.
Yeah. It all goes to good causes, right? We've seen, Mimico's doing a series of beers that have, Mimico branding on it, t-shirts. Orangeville's obviously, been the king of the fundraising game, on a local level for a long time here. So get out there and support those organizations. 5-on-5 here, reminder, they're not 6-on-5.
Under 40 to go, 10 on the shot clock right now as Orangeville keeps it to the outside. This is Horseman.
This is going to end up with Deer.
Now Matthews, here's Spalina, Deer cutting through. Although Harlan went right with him, Horseman ended up taking the shot. Rebound picked up by the Beaches.
Careful,
Wills.
net's empty.
Clears center, lost the ball. Deer with it. Kaisik hadn't got all the way to the bench. Gets back into the net, faces the breakaway, and Deer scores.
And look how many guys Orangeville's sending now to the pile. Everyone's going to celebrate. Maddie, this is a Happy Meal. Over center, Deer forces the turnover. Kaisik was halfway out of the goal looking for the 6-on-5. Going with the flex at the end off the breakaway. A nice finish. That's a huge play in this game. Pushes the lead back to 3 and then now sets up a big face-off. Look for Beaches to try to get the timeout, I think, as soon as they win this, if they win it.
Only 15 seconds left to go. Sheldon Broughton back to Wynarski.
Riley O'Connor
does not say timeout. And that's going to keep Kaisik in the net, Collison from the outside. Enon O'Toole, who will just dribble it out as it were and send us into the second intermission. But back and forth, second period ends with Orangeville on top 9-6.
Matt, we called the game between Beaches and Oakville just a few weeks ago. It kind of felt like this, where Beaches was down and out. This offense could be explosive. They can get going. Firth was going to get going at some point here. So, don't count this game out. We should have 20 more good minutes.
We should. It comes your way in 10. You're watching the Ontario Junior Lacrosse League Game of the Week. It's fueled by Gatorade. We'll be back to Ted Reeve after this short break.
Gatorade. With electrolytes to help replenish what's lost in sweat, carbs to help fuel your working muscles, and fluids to help you hydrate. Scientifically formulated so you never stop competing.
Hey, let's go. Raise up one time. Go get it. It's yours. Let's shine. Come on.
Rehydrate, replenish, refuel. Gatorade.
You can catch the fun with lacrosse, Canada's national summer sport. Everyone can experience the excitement of lacrosse, where fun meets fitness and friends are made. Lacrosse is one of the youngest organized sports children can play. And with 66 clubs throughout Ontario, everyone can get in on the fun. Visit playlacrosse.com. Our interactive map will help you find a lacrosse club in your area. Join the Ontario lacrosse community today. Ask a parent before going online.
We continue to go back and forth here at Tony Rose Arena. Toronto Beaches and Orangeville Northmen. Northmen looking to stay atop the OJLL standings as they lead 9-6 into the third period. Matthew Carrick, Jonathan Donville here for the game of the week. Along with, about 500 of our closest friends. Glad to have you aboard. Beaches going left to right here in this final period. Firth to the outside. Palmer returns it to Collison. Save made by Connor O'Toole, who at times hasn't been super busy tonight. But both goaltenders, solid performance, him and Thomas Kizek.
Yeah, we don't have shots on the board here, but definitely feels like Orangeville's had a significant advantage. Wow, what a save that was.
Kizek was looking down, popped up high, and into the end boards after the fact was Liam Matthews, who's hanging out there slowly, was doubled over at one point. Horseman to Deere, they'll keep the possession going. Look to Matthews. He comes cross floor, and after that pass, he's going to take off. Spalina to Horseman, scores.
Yeah, that's not a good sign for Orangeville, despite the goal. Liam Matthews going off with looked like a non-contact injury there.
Oh, no, there was tons of contact. It was behind the net after the first shot, which we're not going to see, but
Horseman ends up scoring the goal here. His second shot from distance in this game. He can really pull it. Again, there's only so many ways, different ways to say it. Horseman shoots with velocity to the pipes, and we've seen it go in against a bunch of different goaltenders this year. And if you're Beaches, you got to shut the door now.
Although they give it away right to Nate Ruff, who comes in that shot. They're going to discuss whether or not that hit Kizek before going up and out of play. Looks to me like he had made the save. He disagrees, but all three officials point in the direction of Orangeville ball.
Matthews back up on the door, by the way, so it looks like he's going to be okay, at least in the short term.
Orangeville goals for number 81, Bowie Horseman. Unassisted, Horseman, unassisted. Sunduck goal, 105.
Update from Mimico, by the way. That game has been postponed due to unsafe floor conditions. As this ball bounces across to Greg Palmer. Sanderson giving chase. Palmer, oh boy.
What a play by Palmer, though. Collison's open.
Lifted right off the floor. Ball bounces to Sanderson. Bowen trailing the play. It's changed back to his original shoes.
Fresh kicks. Fresh kicks in the third period. Love it.
Have to ask him about those shoes because they're the ones he did wear in Brampton. So whether it's just the slick condition, comfort condition, as Matthews returns to the floor and takes a sidearm shot. This is Bowen bringing the ball down, trying to shed his defender who was all over him, and then just a spinning twirl to knock Chris Harlan down, gives the ball here to the Beaches.
Yeah, what can you scheme up here to get Willem a good look? That's, I think, one of the keys is you're seeing this aggressive topside defense again. How can they get 14 going here? Collison's got a drive here. He's got one-on-one.
Him and Sheehan have been quiet. That's Firth. Although they work it back to the other side, and on cue, Sheehan takes the shot that O'Toole will make the save. But, credit Phil Sanderson in the defense of the Orangeville Northmen. Those are two of the better scorers in this league that haven't done a whole heck of a lot here this evening.
Yep.
Spalina from up top. Meanwhile, a couple goals from him. As Cam Sanderson was a little close to the crease.
Yeah, I mean, these two teams are two of the better coach teams you're going to see as well. All the guys on these benches have NLL pedigrees. Riley O'Connor really revitalized this whole organization and program when he came here with Luke Magnan, Damon Edwards, Mike McKay on that bench. And obviously Orangeville can kind of take their pick of coaches. So many good coaches up there in the Ville.
Managed by Nick Rose, of course, NLL goaltender of the year. He's from Orangeville, but this Toronto coaching staff, like you said, Riley O'Connor took over just a few years ago. And normally, I mean, you look at Burlington, it took a while once Dan McRae took over to get their wheels under them. And even this year, taking a bit of a regression.
6-on-5 here. Beach is going to go back to the power play.
Penalty coming up to Orangeville, like you said. But
keep an eye on Palmer from Collison. They've hit that play twice in a row. Why not go back to it? Palmer sneaking in.
It'll be Firth that takes the shot through traffic. Triple team will arrive on scene. High hit. Knocked Firth down. Man still standing over top of him. And look out here. This is going to draw at least one. Aiden Long's been in the middle of everything here tonight. He puts a wrap on Lubinecki. And that's going to even the numbers as the initial penalty was coming to Orangeville.
I think Orangeville's going to get 2. Because they had whatever the first one was, and then Ruff finished his check pretty aggressively there on Firth. Lubinecki comes in to defend his star player, which, you know, we don't want to condone penalties, but that's how you would expect Beaches to react to that sort of play.
Yeah, who's on the board and who are we going towards tonight?
So it sounds like
So who okay.
Sanderson got the initial for a slash, and then Ruff and Lubinecki come in for roughing. So it will be a power play here for the Beaches, and like you said, if there's any time to be go time right now for either number 11 or 14, this is as good as any. 4 minutes in, Firth on cue.
Good call, Matty. And he's fired up, too. A guy who doesn't show a lot of emotion, Willem Firth. Fired up. We've seen Beaches do this all summer long where they work it behind the net, come back up the righty side, and Firth can really step into those. And if you're Orangeville, you want to nip this in the bud, because the path back to close the gap here in this game, the path for Beaches is probably going to include 14 getting hot. We've seen him go like this before. That Oakville game was a good example. It was quiet for a little while, and then he can really explode. If you're Beaches, you got to try to get him another look real soon, try to get some momentum going.
Face-off win for Owen Ron. He'll flip to Cole Teeple. That took care of the first penalty.
So
it's going to be Ruff.
Lubinecki and Ruff in the box still.
Here's Dylan Sanderson from the outside. Cam released on that power play goal, the first of the night for the Beaches. Here's Dylan Sanderson. 5 minutes gone just about here in period number 3. Trey Deer over the top. His shot scores. And if there's a way to keep the Beaches out of this game, it's 91, who's been hot all night long.
Yeah, another big goal there for Deer. He's kind of stopped both of the momentum twice in a row now for the Northmen. Comes over a seal. Shoots. He's got an ability with either his wrists or with a little bit of whip in his stick to really yank the ball back. You can see him yank it down low a lot and then yank it back to the near side. Seemed like Kazik was expecting him to go far side there, just shooting through his screen. Pretty skilled play from Deer.
Big battle for this loose ball. Up top, meanwhile, Owen Wills was involved there with Owen Rod. Dante Bowen's going to pull this away from Wojnarski. Cameron Pack waiting for the outlet pass, but Bowen will keep. And now give to Jackman off the bench. Deer to Horseman. Outside Spalina. Getting it back to Jackman here. Deer looking to set screen for him. Deer works to the crease all alone and ran through the crease before throwing the check on Eric McDonald.
It is worth mentioning, Natty, by the way, while we have a second, the appeal for the 8 games, forfeit games, is still ongoing. So, you know, there is still lots to be determined here throughout the summer, as Beach is obviously in tough here in the last 14 minutes. And for those looking at the standings, there is still stuff that could change.
Firth circle the net, gives here to Collison. A number of twists on his way through, and the last one gets it behind O'Toole.
This is exactly what I was talking about earlier. So Orangeville is trying to have their defenders take away the top side, force players underneath. They vacate that out. So Donnie Scott is pushing Collison down. There's nobody there to help. Collison makes his moves with the twister. When he's going to the goal, he's so hard to handle. I would look for that vacate option more throughout this period and try to get Collison getting his head and shoulders going down towards the goal. Still lots of time here. I didn't mean to be counting Beaches out, by the way. 3 goals in 13 minutes, 14 minutes. Many crazier things have happened, especially for an explosive offensive team.
Braun and Broughton again. And it's going to be the Beaches that have controlled, I think, every faceoff so far here in this third period after it didn't go that way much of the rest of the game. Braun's starting to get a little frustrated as he put a two-hander on his draw mate. Firth from way outside, a little skipper that goes in on O'Toole. Rebound picked up by the Beaches, and they'll give the Northmen a little taste of their own medicine with an offensive rebound. Collison passed the screen. That bounce shot comes back down. Shot clock sounded.
I think we only got the one shot clock here, right?
Only one working tonight, yes, and it's in the opposite end. The one down by the snack bar to our left, so. Here's Sanderson, Spallina. Deer in through the middle. Now trying to open space for Matthews. Saw him go off in that second period. Good to see him back as he passes here to Spallina. A low bouncer. How did he find the back of the net there? Oh my goodness.
Our viewers had a great angle of this one, as did we up in the press box. Going low to that bottom right corner, and this is going to be perfect. Man, that is just a great shot. And we've seen Orangeville score a couple of those from deep. Just one of those games.
I mean, there was absolutely nothing there,
Nope.
and then the ball was in the back of the net. Joey Spallina's figured this box thing out pretty quick.
Yeah.
Owen
Nice
Wills.
check.
Yeah. Two-hander on Elijah Edwards. Bounces it to McPherson. Hamish McPherson backs into the corner. Edwards in there, as was Cole Teeple. It now rolls down the boards and ain't rough. 12.5 to go in the period. 12-8 the lead for the Northmen. Matches their largest of the game. Elijah Edwards back for Deer. Errant pass looking for Horseman halfway through the shot clock of the Northmen. Bowie Horseman over the top past the double screen. He'll give here to Jackman, who works around Deer to the crease. And in the crease is going to be the call, as he got a little tight to Kazek, who's checking the footing down in his crease. Wills to Palmer to Firth. One-on-one working with Bowen, who goes free of the captain and now heads up. Elects not to push transition this time. Although
That's why Dante Bowen's one of the best defenders in the country. One-on-one. It's hard to pick out a better defender individually in the OJLL this season.
Trey Deer tried to shoot through his defender. Did get it on net, but Kazek there with the save, and that first run that he made in the opening game in Brampton really put the league on notice, I think.
No doubt.
Lowering the shoulder, going straight through his man after Bowen missed the entirety of last season. Here's Palmer. Down to the corner again, working up top and picking the corner. Peyton Booth. Beaches may have found a spot to shoot on O'Toole, as they've got a couple here.
They're sticking around here. 11 minutes to play. 3-goal game again now for Beaches. Booth comes over the top. Orangeville is trying to deny the pass to Collison, so just a lot of room there. Goes bottom right. Booth one of the 2 American players on this Beaches team heading to Cornell University once his high school career is over. He's been pretty solid up here, up north for the Beach. Scores a big goal there. Now, these are where those last couple really hurt. The deep one from Spalina, you know, if this was 11-9, Beaches, you got life. Still feels like you're treading uphill here with 3-goal lead, 11 minutes to play.
Ball bouncing out towards Nate Ruff on the far side. Owen Wills gets there, now bouncing, still bouncing. Wills will bring it down. You've been excited for Cornell here tonight. Now, thought coming in it may not be because the young Blue Jays pitcher Cassis got his debut today from the University of Maryland. I was wondering if wouldn't get a shutout there.
This is going to be a set play for Firth.
First tied up with a screen right now. He'll come and take top spot. Palmer has it. He shoots, however, and it bounces right back to Gonzalez. Palmer across to Collison. Now Firth has it. And we'll see if this is the play with Collison opening space in front off the shoulder of O'Toole. And then the end glass as well. Midway mark of the third.
2 good saves there by O'Toole. Good seal by Collison. He's so big. Got the ability to really eat up defenders.
Horseman to the outside there for Deere. Jackman will set the screen, turn to try and turn it into a pick and roll. And the ball ended up squirting away into the corner. Way late in Orangeville shot clock. Deere will try and take one. And
Good eat. Don't rub it.
Yeah, there it is. Caden Hewitt, the star jump. I'm not jumping in front of a trade Deere shot. Not a chance. Here's Firth. Stopped up and got clear of Dante Bowen, but not Donnie Scott. And now Bowen in and out of the stick as he crosses center. He'll bring it down and wait.
Great late stick there by Scott. That was an unbelievable stop move by Firth.
Aiden Long now an offensive shift. High step from up top as the second unit gets some play time. Kazik hung on to it. Now gets it up to McDonald. He'll flip to Hunter Lubinecki and outside as we're under 9 minutes to play here in the third. 3-goal advantage to the Northmen. Beach has had a brief lead, trying to get back there as it's Will Sheehan finally putting one in.
Sheehan's got a really impressive ability to get his stick out of trouble. A lot of guys right here, they get kind of jammed up. He has a great way of dropping his stick and shooting as he's dropping his stick. So he's in tight quarters, all of a sudden his hands and his stick drop, ball's going out, and he loves that low-to-low release. It's not super conventional, but goalies really seem like they have a hard time picking it up. We've seen him score that shot on the power play, and then also in tight. And now a 2-goal game with 8.5 here. Again, obviously, you know, there's bragging rights and some emotional and tangible stuff, but this game matters a lot more standings-wise for Beaches.
If you take care of your business down the stretch, that appeal probably doesn't mean much in terms of getting you into the playoffs.
And a little bit more jam now for Beaches. You can just feel it.
Yeah. Bouncer across looking for Palmer, and he was tied up. And look out here, Cole Teeple, and excuse me, that's Owen Ryan. Ron in transition.
Boy, that didn't miss by much from Teeple.
Ron and Harlan collide on the far boards, and a pair of 14s near the over and back line. Firth and Teeple, and the over and back is called, and they're going to give it here to the Beaches.
Yeah, Orangeville bench not happy. I thought that was the right call. I thought Firth got a check-in on the Orangeville player who knocked it back. A lot of Firth on Bowen here. Clearly an emphasis to get number 3 on 14.
Up top, Collison. Firth will pick Bowen out of the way. Collison walks in. Orangeville has no answer for number 44 tonight.
Again, when he's getting his shoulders and the front of his jersey going towards the net, he's really hard to stop. this also kind of relates to the last goal where he threw that twister release to the short side. This time he hammers the twister to the top left corner. 12-11, 7:39 to go.
There was movement off to our left.
Careful here for Beaches.
Elijah Edwards has it, but on his wrong side, he'll pass to Dante Bowen. Cole Barnett got knocked over the line. Beaches wanted them to call for the face-off violation. Still going to end up with possession anyways, and the stick from Sheldon Broughton.
Yeah, Owen Will's a winning player. He does so many good things for this team. Same thing can be said for Broughton. Another look for Collison here. Go to the goal.
They've now shifted Bowen off of Firth and over to Collison. Bowen reaching out for that errant shot, but everybody's going to head off to their respective benches as it goes over and back. Under 7 to play. 1 goal game. Beaches have fought all the way back. Here's the rally stopper. Trade Deer, not this time as he throws it into the corner. Jackman will pick up. Lost it as it's rolling back in the direction of Deer.
Gotta be careful here.
Not gonna let him shoot, but that does open 2 others down low. And bounces away from Kazik up and into the rafters. Fresh 30 seconds coming up here for Toronto Beaches.
Yeah, and Collison and Firth are playing every shift here. Going to see this 2-man again.
Here is number 14, Collison. Trying to open space as they looked into the corner to Palmer for the quick stick.
Sheehan stuck right now. Looks like he can get off with long. They're going to get all their O guys off.
Horseman around the Spalina screen. Back up top, Jackman sidearm had to deal with the defender stepping up, and that one's going to skip past Spalina and go for another over and back with 6 to play here in regulation in a 1-goal game.
Collison going to get a breather here as he had to go back on defense.
Officials want someone to go over and pick up this ball. It'll be Ryan Gonzalez who puts it behind the Northman net. Now up top, big stutter step here, fake of the head, shoots and scores! Will Sheehan ties it up! DJ, play the song!
OJLL Game of the Week shaping up to be an instant classic here. Beaches have looked down and out a couple times, keep fighting back. Sheehan with that underhand release again has gone 5 holes, short side a couple times, just rips that thing to the pipe. He's a 21-year-old. He got traded at the deadline for a chance to win a Minto Cup and go on a run with Beaches, and he's helping them do just that. Again, Maddie, standings-wise, this game means nothing for Orangeville. It means a whole lot for Beaches, and we're seeing what a desperate team looks like in the 3rd period.
Tie game, Broughton crouching in here against Ron. Has been one of many individual battles to watch here in this game. And then Ron takes down Wills and hands possession to the Beaches. Hamish McPherson back to Collison.
Sorry, Matty. With Collison and Firth taking so many reps, McPherson's basically been playing defense and faceoffs here and doing a really nice job, doing what the team asked of him.
Gonzalez out there to
take room here.
His spot, one-on-one. Sheehan on his man, turns and fires. Low save made from O'Toole, and a lot of action in tight to the crease, and someone's put a toe over the line. Giving it here to Orangeville.
Like that play design there from the Beaches staff. Feed the hot hand, just trying to clear out space for a one-on-one. Sheehan very slick in those scenarios. That was a good look.
Spalina to the outside. Finds man off the bench. It's Jackman who's got all kinds of time. Now crashes into the pile. Jackman up top, Spalina. He goes one-on-one. Over to Liam Matthews, 5 on the clock. He turns and shoots. Kazik the save. Rebound. Bounces behind the net. Number of players looking for it. And
what a play by Hewitt there.
Yes.
Just finishes the check on on Jennings into the boards. Kazik picks it up. You see Coach O'Connor come down to the end of the bench, telling him good job as Beach has got an opportunity to take the lead here.
First to Collison in
boy.
tight, the twister back across, just missed as O'Toole had to go right to left to meet it. Bowen to Horseman. Big high step, Bowie Horseman. He wants to take it to the crease. His twist shot off of Kazik into the corner. Wills looked like got there first.
This is on the 8th second for Beaches,
Yeah,
so if
for
they get the
Beaches.
ball out of this, they're going to have to chuck it.
And they can't.
Good play by Spalina and Horseman there to earn the extra possession. Again, we don't have the time on the scoreboard here, but 3 minutes, 55 seconds and counting.
In what has turned into a tie game, Spalina works through a check. Bench calling for a high stick. Deere and Jackman trying to work the pick and roll. Comes back to the former Buzz player, his twist shot. Doesn't hit the net, 10 to shoot. Spalina waits for the crease to clear and has Kazik at his mercy. Are you kidding
What
me?
a move. We highlight every time someone blocks a shot. This is the problem. McDonald tries to jump in the lane. Bit of an ankle breaker, and I think Kazik thought he was going to shoot too. Good patience by Spalina. He's fired up. 3 minutes, 34 seconds remaining. Orangeville up 1 here.
That's gross.
That was nice. That was nice, no doubt about it. That's why you keep, by the way, going across the crease. The first fake freezes the goalie, but continuing across the crease is what gets him the easy goal.
Johnny Zamboni will come out for a wipe down, giving us a chance to get one more look at this goal from Spalina, who has been on fire here tonight.
And by the way, giving the Beaches offensive players one more blow in this game, one more chance to catch a breather. Expect Sheehan, Palmer, Collison, and Firth to be out there every shift here. If I'm Beaches, I'm trying to get Collison or Sheehan in space on one-on-one matchups. That's been where they've had their success here.
5th goal of the game for Spalina. Him and Trey Deere both have 5 each.
So it's going to be a long 8 seconds here. Orange is going to clear this. Good play by Donnie Scott.
Deere across to Jackman. Aiden Long and a pair from Bowie Horseman, the only other goal scorers.
Can't let this get to 2 goals if you're Beaches.
Deere outside, skipper off Kazik, and then up out of play. Another fresh 30.
Yeah, that's important here. 3:01 left. They can take another full possession away from the Beaches.
Jackman.
Yeah, good idea there, not shooting it. They want to use at least 20 seconds of this clock.
Just as he was about to let rip, the bench yelled, use it. Trey Deere will get another reset as it's brought down by Sanderson.
Great seal there from Jackman, letting Deere go in alone.
Now Spalina. No sense of urgency. Northmen are going to pick and choose their spots here. Jackman over the top, trickling through and out the back door. And a back-in call against Toronto.
Man, tough one for Hamish there.
Deere will flip it to his Syracuse brother Spalina. 10 goals between the two of them.
Yeah, and they've taken almost a minute and a half off the clock now. 2:10. Tick, tick, tick.
10 to go on the shot clock. Spalina, far side. Matthews returns it. Here comes the blast. And that's off Kazik. Comes down off the glass, but in the stick of Trey Deere. This whole thing started with 3.5 minutes, and now we're inside the 2-minute warning. 2 Syracuse players playing a field-style game right now, letting the clock tick away. Spalina, another big shot, and this one will bounce just wide and go for the over and back in his bid for the sock trick.
Sorry, Matty. I wonder if we'll see the timeout now from Coach O'Connor, and also got a decision to make about when to bring Kazik.
Not yet is the answer to both of those questions.
This is the matchup here.
Here's Sheehan across for Firth. He'll spin back away from pressure. One-on-one with Cole Teeple. Collison picks him out of the way.
Wow.
Quick shot, scores! Tied again. Collison, have a night.
This is just like Spalina's. The quick release is the key here. Again, 20 seconds, 25 seconds of great defense by the Northmen. And Collison so strong. He's shooting that thing off his back foot from well outside the dotted line. And that is a rope to the bottom left corner here. Coach O'Connor will be glad he didn't take his time out here as we get down in a tie game. 1 minute, 21 seconds left here. I mean, that last 2 minutes, Matty, that was about as disastrous for Beaches as that could have gone. They took 2 full minutes off the clock. Huge, huge, huge face-off here.
But just
a lot of these have been squirting out towards Owen Wills. Look for that to happen again. Big battle here.
just too many offensive weapons on the side of Beaches, even though that one possession back the other way hurt. Wills does clear center. It was close. As we're down to about a minute to go in a tie game.
First got some space here.
Elijah Edwards realizes, comes to close it off. Collison back to where he's done all his damage tonight from the outside. Another shot, O'Toole with the save.
Look for a potentially quick shot here for the 2-for-1. Probably missed their mark now. Now you got to use it. What a play.
Close to the 8-second count. Collison wins it back. 38 to go on the clock. So far, it's just Collison on the floor for the Beaches. And with the late change coming, Riley O'Connor now will use the timeout with a 34.1 remaining, and they'll have 25 to shoot.
Yeah, I think that's a good timeout there. They were just going to waste the time letting the offense players get out there anyways. What a play, Matty, by Collison on that over-the-head check. He's done that twice now. It's normally been Firth throughout the summer on those caused turnovers, but Collison has done it twice in this game. So 34 seconds left. Tie game. This will be 5-on-5. Shot clock has 25 seconds on it, so it'll be about 9 seconds of difference. So Orangeville will get a look at this. I think if you're Beaches, you want to take it down as low as you can. You probably want to initiate this play with about 10 seconds left. If it's me, I'm clearing out space for Collison. I'm maybe vacating, maybe putting Firth behind the net and just letting him go because, there's been nobody on Orangeville that has proven to be able to stick with them. The exception might be Bowen, so maybe you try to run something to get Bowen off of Collison.
Collison showing just 3 goals tonight, but
I don't think so.
I think it's a lot more than that. I mean, either that or they've just come in such big moments that it seems like he's got way more. 8 points, though, on 13 goals. And here we go, whistled in. Kazik is in the net, so this will be a 5-on-5 set with Firth up top.
Just based on how they're set up, I think this is probably going to be a pass to the wing for McPherson and then eventually an up pick for Collison,
who is starting on the crease.
If I had to guess here.
Here comes the first pass to McPherson.
Yeah, Collison's going to set the up pick.
And breaks through to the crease, turns and fires. Off O'Toole, picked up Cameron Pack, and they're going to give him possession even though he got run over. 7.9 to go, and Orangeville Northmen call timeout.
Yeah, that's a very common play in the NLL. Teams call it progression most of the time. It's one of the most effective plays. Saskatchewan Russia run it for a long time. Kurt Malowski coach teams have run it for a long time. That was pretty much to perfection. That's a really good look, a nice save. And a pretty good whistle there for Orangeville, who they got the timeout immediately as they picked it up.
Extra time going to be put on the clock here. Wait for Mikey to finish touching all the buttons. 9 seconds to go.
So 9 seconds to go. Tie game, obviously. It'll be 6-on-5. Orangeville's going to have to get the ball up the floor. You know, this is where adding a guy like Horseman makes it really tough because it's really hard to shut anybody here. You know, if you want to shut Spalina, Horseman's going to basically by definition be open. Shutting the lefties seems tough. You pick your poison with Matthews and Deere. I have 6 offensive players on the floor for Orangeville, and I think at least 4 of them are 21 years old. That's You know, that's what championship teams look like.
If you're enjoying this, subscribe to the channel. This is where all the OJLL games stream. Horseman down to the outside. Spalina will wheel over the top. No room to shoot. Goes down to the crease for Sanderson. And the horn goes to end regulation before Jackman can get a shot away. We're headed to overtime at Ted Reeve Arena.
Outstanding defense there by Beaches, just taking away the time and space for Spalina. We don't know who's going to win, Maddie, but we know there's not going to be a tie.
We know it's going to be somebody. 2-minute break before we head to the extra period. You're watching the Ontario Junior Lacrosse League Game of the Week, fueled by Gatorade. Overtime comes your way next from Ted Reeve. Well, our first trip to Ted Reeve Arena is a good one. 13-13 between two of the top teams in the Ontario Junior Lacrosse League. Next goal wins.
Let's go Beaches! Let's go Beaches!
As they try and get the crowd amped up here
Let's go Beaches!
on a long weekend.
Just waiting to run out the last 15 seconds here of the break.
Mind you, there was one other game tonight. It was Brampton in Mimico. That game postponed due to unsafe floor conditions. You can download the official Ontario Junior Lacrosse League app from the App Store. Search for OJLL where you'll get all your stats, standings, and schedules for the entire season. And subscribe here to this YouTube channel where we will stream every time we're live, including next Friday. It is game number 2 of the Crombie Cup from Mimico.
First possession going to Orangeville here. Let's see what they got drawn up.
And I think we've got one timeout on the side of the Beaches here. They'll go to Jackman,
Cross pick for Horseman.
who scores and ends it.
Very well designed play here. This is a team a lot of NLL teams draw up. So they're going to pass it to Jackman, and then one of the lefties, Trey Deer, is going to come set the cross pick for the righty Horseman, who comes over. And again, Maddie, 3 goals from Horseman, all from outside. The kid can absolutely hose it. And the most important thing, Maddie, Beaches has to win in Mimico, and they have to beat Oakville. It's must-win time now for the Beaches, as this OJLL season, unlike any other, continues.
What a way to kick off Canada Day weekend with an overtime victory. 14-13, your final score. Orangeville win here at Ted Reeve Arena. On behalf of my partner, Jonathan Donville, Gary Morrison for the JVI Sports Network, Colleen Grimes for the Ontario Junior Lacrosse League. I'm Matthew Carrick saying good night from Ted Reeve. 14-13 overtime, your final. We'll talk to you next time on the Ontario Junior Lacrosse League Game of the Week.
Place It's a boys'